I'm taking a look now, zooming out a little bit on earnings and sort of what kind of price reaction we've been seeing overall. So you see here next to me, the 5-year average for a company that beats on revenue and EPS had been about 1%. That's the price reaction we see across a 2-day span around when companies report earnings. Notably though, this quarter, been a little bit better, 1.5%. Sort of commentary on the street has been maybe the bar is lower for most companies. We've been talking about how the bar is high for those big tech companies like a Microsoft or Alphabet, which reported earlier today. But the bar's been lower for a lot of other companies. So when we see beats, we've seen pretty big stock reactions. And I want to take a look at a couple of those now. And so when you take a look here broadly at, say, Netflix, right? We know Netflix had a beat. And when you zoom out to a 5-day here, you'll be able to see a pretty big run up for Netflix there. Netflix pleasing the street and then getting rewarded heavily for it. That's a theme we've been watching. We saw that again today. You had GM report before the bell. You take a look at GM stock, up 7.8% today, up over 8% over the last 5 days. And guys, really, I think the reason we're highlighting this right now, and one thing I'm watching after hours today, headed into trading tomorrow, the biggest company in the world, as of a couple days ago, Microsoft, beat on both the top and bottom line. We take a look at the after hours action right now, and the stock was just up a little bit. We hadn't seen a big move for Microsoft yet. You can see the stock down about 1% now. But the question is, once we get into that earnings call, is a double beat enough for Microsoft when we're trading near an all-time high? Perhaps a little bit of a look at market sentiment right now for some of these highly valued stocks.
Yeah, most definitely. And, we keep going back to your chart all week, Josh, that looks at how much of the earnings growth in the S&P 500 is coming from the Magnificent Seven, or really Magnificent Six as well. And so that really raises the question of, if these guys see the stocks go down, what does that do to the rally overall?
Yeah, Julie, you have to feel like it probably puts it in question, at least a little bit from a fundamental standpoint, right? I pulled up Alphabet here, and you can see the extended number we have right now, down about 5%. We're not even all the way through that call and really gotten full explanation from them yet on why some of their numbers did miss, and the company may be growing a little bit slower than some on the street had expected. But you have to think, again, when we talk about those earnings projections, we're talking about growth, right? And if we don't get the growth we expected fully from this AI drive, perhaps that will be disappointing. But it's only Tuesday. It's tech earnings week, and we still have Apple, Amazon, Meta to hear from, and they can sort of turn that story around perhaps.